What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Day1Radio right here on LivehiphopDaily. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Maurice Garland. Obviously, this man to my right is not Brandon Peters as usual. You know what I'm saying? But he's still a cool, fly individual in his own right, man. In case you don't know the face, you're going to know the voice as soon as he opens his mouth. This is the homie Big Zach in the building. What's going on, man?
I'm the fill-in for Brandon. Brandon, I got you, man. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying?
Up, Maurice?
Appreciate you falling through, man. It's like Zach is one of those cats where you can have like a bunch of different conversations about, because I know a lot of people have a lot of different entry points with, you know, how they know you. You know what I'm saying? Some people know you, oh man, that's the songwriter guy. Oh man, that's the rapper guy. But now the business card is saying what now? Saying what, like restaurant entrepreneur? Like what is it saying now?
Hey, I'm an overqualified custodian. You know what I mean? I do it all though. But now I'm in the food business, man. I'm the creator of Local Green Atlanta. Local Green Atlanta,
also known as the restaurant that y'all see everybody taking pictures of and on Instagram in front of that green wall. You know what I'm saying? The thing went viral out there, man. You know what I'm saying? So
love, man.
We'll get into your rap history off GP, man. But you know the main conversation we want to have today is about this business venture of yours and the importance of, you know, just being healthy in 2019 and beyond, man. So briefly, like give us a rundown of like how you even started this concept, man. Like Local Green Atlanta, where was this concept built from, man?
Hey, first of all, even though I ain't winning no award or nothing like that, I just want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, man, for just always guiding me in the right direction. You know what I mean? Yeah. And helping me to just see clear and do my thing, or what I, you know, of how I see where I need to go and guide my footsteps. But okay, so music was like a new experience for me. It was a very creative experience. Obviously, it was one of those things I didn't have any excuse for it as to why I was in music. Mm-hmm. I didn't have any lineage that had been successful in music. It was something that I just really paid attention to and figured out.
Right.
And it was a discernment thing where I could just kind of pick a winner. I knew which thoughts might seem to be. I knew which thoughts could be popular, right?
Okay.
You know,
okay.
I could choose my popular thoughts, if you
okay.
will. You know what I mean? Or a popular melody. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so sometimes it'd be a song that people would think was good. I'd be like, nah, let's change that, and I try to go better it. And then when I better it, people would hear it and be like, oh man, that's the one. You know. So, and I used to ask myself, I used to be like, man, what separates me from the guys I respect, who I know have way more talent than me, right? The guys who I used to look up to in rap, you know, who've you know been successful, but they never had hits, you know, like hit records, mm-hmm. quote unquote, as big as the ones I've been a part of, right?
I mean, since you're bringing this up for the people that may not be familiar to the campaign, just throw out a couple darts out there of like what Zach's pen and popular thoughts have touched.
My first hit was Goodies, so. I mean, can you imagine that though? Like your first hit record, like the first song you get on radio is Goodies.
Right.
Like
right.
It's my introduction to radio.
Right.
In that world. So me getting 5% on a record of that magnitude led to me getting a publishing deal out the gate. Because anytime you're part of a hit record, they want to sign up everybody that got a piece of their record, big record. Yeah. Just think about Blame It on the Alcohol.
Right, right.
18 people had a piece of it, you know, and
right.
all 18 people got
man, nigga, I heard the man that opened the damn studio door got a piece of that song. That shit, I was there. You know what I'm
saying? Exactly. He probably got a publishing deal off of that too. So from that, it went to but then, you know, I like the vastness of what the pen was doing, because I was able to be in, with Show Enough Records afforded me that. But with us having Ciara, we also had Young Jeezy, and we also had Boys in the Hood, you know. So it's like all that was birthed, and it was groomed right there in the Show Enough Records studio.
Right.
So you know, so in the same breath, we had Goodies, but then I had like with Jeezy, Bang, you know, Peace Up, A-Town Down,
right? You
know, and then Boys in the Hood. You know, it's some boys and them boys, you know.
Yeah.
Boys in the hood sell anything for profit.
Right.
And just sidebar, do you know where that came from? Because I know you a historian.
Boys in the hood sell anything for profit.
Think about 5 in the morning.
With the old Ice-T?
No.
No, that's 3 in the morning. It's 3 in the morning.
Remember that girl?
Yeah, 5 in the morning. Yeah.
5 o'clock in the
morning. What you gonna be? Outside on the corner, nonchalant.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nonchalant, dog. That's where I got that from.
Wow. Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
I
Okay.
took that part because it was like 5 in the morning on the corner clock. It was her little brother's response to her.
Ah.
That's what
okay.
them boys was.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm saying,
Okay.
so
okay.
just imagine a thought that
Yeah,
goes into
yeah.
writing a record like that.
Yeah.
And I needed a perspective, and Block was like, man, Block had the dope name of Boys in the Hood,
Yeah.
right?
Shout out to
And-
Block.
Yeah,
Shout
shout
out to
out to Block. You know what I mean? So Block was like, we stand outside the studio. He's like, man, I just need, Nitty gave me this beat. I need a dope ass record that's gonna tie everything in together. You know what I mean? Tie the group in together. And I was like, all right, cool. And then when I heard it, I was like, oh my God, this beat is crazy. And I'm like, how can I come on this? Because you got Jeezy there, you got Trick Daddy there, you got Jody Breeze there, and then you got Big Duke. You know what I mean? So I'm like, what I'm gonna say as a ghostwriter that they can't say. So I had to outsmart them, and that's what I came with, that nonchalant, that perspective.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But so you go from that to Carrie Hilson turning me on. You know, that was another one. I did some work for Fantasia's first platinum album. Like I said, Lloyd, I did Get It Shawty. Worked with Nelly, Longest Yard soundtrack. We actually had a movie. I actually had a movie credit, bro. Like, so all these, and mind you, I'm working in the studio every day, so I probably did 1,000 songs.
Right.
But these 15 records that actually were played on the radio and got commercial success, it's like, what separated that body of work from what I seen a lot of my peers doing, who I felt was skills were way more superior than mine.
Right.
And I just knew, I'm like, okay, this not luck. This is like, you gotta listen to that voice, this that discernment, you know what I mean, that says, ooh, that's it, and not pass it, you know what I mean, and stop. I would stop everything, and when I got it, I would stop everything until I got it out, and then when I got it out, I go back to partying and drinking and smoking and everything else. But I would just be like, so, I wanted to hold on to that magic in the bottle, you know what I mean?
For sure, man. So slightly. So you had quite a run, you know what I'm saying, for a number of years, you know what I'm saying. A lot of dope music came out from what you was doing, as well as like your solo stuff, namely, you know what I'm saying, that Major Visibility mixtape that I lost and need to get my hands back on the way, you know what I'm saying?
I promise you, I got you.
But like I said, like a lot of people know you from your music history. Even, quick reminder, this is the voice of, Greg Street's intro, you know what I'm saying, it's been coming on for decades almost now. You know what I'm saying?
Can't know where Atlanta's going.
So, I mean, it's like you've transitioned into, you know what I'm saying, being founding and creating a healthy restaurant smack dab in the middle of Vine City. You know what I'm saying? Can you walk us through, like, the life that you was living when you kind of arrived at that point? Because, from the outside looking in, that's kind of drastic from, people seeing you as like, oh, that's the dude that be hanging with Jazzy Faye and writing all the rap songs. And yeah, he be goddamn turning up in the club, bro. See him with 2 bottles at all times. To, hey, bro, you should really be eating this salmon salad that I got for you, bro. Topped off with this cilantro and avocado with this organic lemonade.
All that going on. All that. It's crazy, man. That's why, I have to give the glory to God, because, again, that voice, people gotta listen to that voice that tell you, all right, enough is enough. Stop. Go left, go right. It's just I really had got to that point in my life where I just saw, man, I'm like, down 40, 40, about to be 41. Like, I need to, what's gonna be my legacy move? And I felt like, as dope as music is, you can't have your mom and them in the studio. You can't have your village in the studio, man, telling niggas put their blunts down and stuff like that, like, or just the profanity that goes on or whatever, right? So I knew that I given, 15 years to something that glorified me, and I felt like my legacy move, I needed something, and I prayed for something that would be bigger than just me, that I couldn't pull out by myself, something that I needed the support of multiple people to make happen. And he showed me the food, but it was really my desire of what I was looking for, on my journey. The fuel I needed on my journey to find what I thought I was looking for, I found in Local Green. You know what I mean? Like, that was the fuel, and so on that journey, I actually met Robert Thomas, known as R. Thomas. I met him before he passed. And I learned his story. And how he founded Bojangles. And he founded Bojangles, and after he sold it, was a multi-millionaire, out in San Francisco. That's where I just really had left from. And he was in San Francisco, and the man said he had his attorney's wife saw him and told him, you poison more Americans than you'll ever know. And he was like, what can I do about it? She's like, buy a property and I'll come out there and I help you create something good. And he was like, all right, cool. So he bought that property on Peachtree.
Wow.
And this is in 85, and he's like trying to sell quinoa in the land of grits. So from 85 to 90, he lost money every year. And he finally broke even in 90. Then in 95, he finally made his first profit. So it took him 10 years to make a profit.
Wow. You
know what I mean? And then, so as the legend goes, now he passed last year, but that store is doing $4 million a year. And it's probably gonna do that until
Yeah, I mean, people want to eat healthy, especially at night. You know what I'm saying? When they leaving, whatever.
But here's the thing: he didn't provide. It's not that he just had the healthiest food; he had healthier food. So yeah, everybody go there for the wings, right?
Yeah.
But what you don't understand is those wings are organic chicken wings, and what makes something organic is that it actually gives the chicken 12 weeks to grow versus pumping all the hormones in the chicken and them killing the chicken at 8 weeks. So you get a real chicken without all the hormones, in it that, cause other things, tumors, fibroids and things like that. So, all these negative reactions we're getting, especially the black community in our bodies, is coming from the food, whatever they put in the food. That's why I say you are what you eat. Right. So if you eat cancer, you end up with cancer, wondering how did I get it first generation? Because now they're doing something different to the food. Right. You got first generation people with getting cancer on chemo, and they're 27 years old. It's like, where's this coming from?
So, when you started making this transition into like a more healthier lifestyle, for people that are, on the fence trying to do it, or they just saying, oh man, I can't do it, it's too expensive, it's impossible. What was that process like for you? Because I'm a pretty healthy person. Like, I ain't out here, super vegan with it, But, what was that transition like for you, especially being black, especially being a man, especially living in the South, what was that transition like for you?
Well, mine was a 10-year process. It started in 07. I wanted to lose weight. I was 304 pounds. And then one day I told myself, I'd never get the things I want out of life if I can't lose at least 50 pounds. On that journey, me and Polo linked up, and, he ended up having the same mentality. We carpooled our way to that success. I lost 70, he lost 60, right? And as you've seen that probably infamous billboard on Howard Mill with his shirt off.
Right. Well, that picture from like 10 years ago too, though, right?
No, that is the picture.
That is the picture.
Look, Polo's so crazy. He put that up there to motivate himself to lose more weight. He do stuff like that.
Okay. I remember that picture because, when I was, writing for magazines and stuff, that was the only picture circulating the Polo the Don with the shirt off. I'm like, bruh.
He made sure. He made sure you saw that six pack. But yeah, so we lost all that weight, but then incrementally year by year I've gained a little bit back, 5 pounds here, 5 pounds there, and then I realized the amount of time we were putting into paying trainers. Then working out at Crunch, and we're doing 2 a days, working out at Crunch in the evening, running 8 games of basketball after that. The average human can't do that. It's not sustainable. So I'm like, it got to be a better way. And I realized it was the food. Years later, probably 6-7 years later, and I was like, all right, this next time, let me learn about what it is. What is food doing? Like, why when I was in San Francisco, I spent that time and I was really able to have access to, it's technology too. You can actually answer questions that you have that arise in your mind versus waiting until you see the person that knows them. So wait until you run into Dr. Seven.
Yeah.
So I asked myself, like, man, what is it about egg whites? What's the difference in egg whites and regular eggs? I thought it was a white people thing for years. I just thought white people like egg whites. Right. Some white power type thing. But dog, I Googled it and I realized about the cholesterol. Yeah. So then I started like, dang, what does cholesterol actually do? And I started looking at, how cholesterol works in the body. And then I thought about how you see dried up grease in a jar or something and how it hardens and stuff like that. And it's doing the same thing in your arteries, which is atherosclerosis, and which leads to high blood pressure, making your heart have to work extra hard to pump blood through your body. So I started thinking, dang, how much cholesterol do we need per day? Because they got RDVs for everything, recommended daily values, for everything. So I looked it up, and your recommended daily value is 250 milligrams of cholesterol, right? Guess how many come in one egg? 185, bro.
Yeah.
On one egg. And
Right.
I know I get me at least 3. So I'm already over from the minute I eat the eggs, not including the meat and the saturated fats and trans fats that come from meat, which turn into extra cholesterol in your bloodstream. So this is why black people have such a high volume of high blood pressure.
Being that, you know what I'm saying, you are spreading this message through action with your restaurant, tell me what it was like when you gained all this knowledge and then you started sharing it. Because, like, I ain't going to lie, like, it might have been like maybe like a year or two ago when we were chopping it up at the brewery. And like I said, I ain't the healthiest cat, but I know what's going on. But you was hitting me with some stuff one day. I was like, man, Zach, my nigga, I don't know what the fuck you talking about right now, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, like, what was it like when you started sharing this knowledge with your folks?
Let me say this. What if I was just saying it and I ain't have some food to go with it, though?
Oh, yeah. Because the food was behind you. You know what I'm saying? So,
So it's easy when I'm telling you this and then I'm like, now try this.
Yeah.
And then, boom, you know, you try the sandwich and it's an 18-gram protein and 18 grams of fiber in this sandwich with no cholesterol in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then it's like, dang, okay, whatever you talking about, if I can get it like this, it tastes good, sign me up.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So it's like present the problem and the solution. You know what I mean? And so that's what it was. It was like, all right, I know I got a natural gift for sales. You know, I know that I also have I've earned a certain amount of respect, so people are gonna hit me out. So if I can have this message and with the menu to match, not saying I'm the healthiest, but I'm providing a healthier option, and we make it translatable for people, I know the community will accept it.
Yeah, cause it was a trip seeing you in action at a brewery of all places. I mean, beer ain't necessarily like good for you, but it was a trip to see people like, you know what I'm saying, making those kind of decisions like, well, you know what, man, I ain't going to eat this double cheese bacon hamburger because, you know, I'm healthy, even though they done drank like 40 ounces of beer in 20 minutes, you know what I'm saying?
But I believe in balance. You know, it's like if I'm going to do something bad, I'm going to do something good. You know what I mean? Like, let me choose my bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if I'm anything we do, man, we should just be looking for the best way to do it. Well, even if we do something bad, some people don't consider themselves cheating if they don't cheat in the United States. You know, that's their own way of living with their bad.
Like I was in Brazil, I was in Portugal, and I was in France.
Yeah, whatever. But that's how you gotta look for everything, the good and the balance in everything you do, man. Like, and my thing is, understanding what we talked about earlier is how this affects your decision making and your moods and everything else. Once you have a clean mind, you make cleaner decisions. Everything starts in your gut, right? So if I'm eating something and my gut is messed up and it's sending the wrong signals to my brain, what kind of decisions I'm gonna make? How I'm gonna be a positive impact in my community or for my family or for my work, my workplace? How am I gonna add value and bring a healthy, positive vibe when I got all these emotions from something that I don't know where it's coming from, but I'm just in a place of toxicity,
right?
So that's the part of it that's the side effect of trying to do something healthy and staying balanced.
Speaking of decisions, man, I mean, making quote unquote healthy food, it's easy if you know what you're doing, but saying to your credit, you're not just slanging veggie burgers, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're making like real dishes out of things that people may not have ate if it wasn't presented that way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the jackfruit sandwiches that you make or cauliflower tacos and things like that. Talk to us about the process of like actually, testing these recipes out. Cause I mean, it's like, man, granted, cauliflower is kind of like chicken. You can make it taste what you want it to taste like, just season it the right way. But to make healthy options like taste good, that's a science that a lot of people have yet to master. You know what I'm saying? So talk to us about the process of like finding these dishes, getting the right concoctions, making it edible, and then being like, hey, partner, try out this jackfruit taco. Like, what the hell is jackfruit?
Right. So here's the deal. I figured it out on this journey. It's all about taste and texture, right? I'm like, what do we like as black people? Because my thing is creating providing healthier food catered to a soul food urban palate, right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's what
with a pop appeal to it.
Yeah, you know, a little pop appeal. But you know, so if you understand taste and texture, like when the things that we like, we love texture and we love taste. So taste is seasoning, right?
Yeah.
Flavor is seasoning. Texture is either how you cook it or what it actually is, and just finding those properties and getting it to getting it to supplement close to what we're used to. And it's not gonna be exactly the same 1,000%, but you can get it in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
So cauliflower, for example, if I know I can eat a cauliflower taco and instead of a steak taco or a pork taco, and you know, and I can still get that crunch on that thing and everything else in it. You got the avocados, the tomatoes, the broccoli slaw, you got your grilled peppers, and then you got your season, your flavor on top of it. So now you're getting all this health and nutrition on top of it. Plus you're getting cilantro lime dressing and sriracha mayo. Man, you got me. And I toasted the tortilla for you. Man, it's like, dang, you know, I just set you up for success.
Yeah.
You know, it's all in the preparation. You know what I mean? So if we can provide things like that and get people to understand taste and texture, and then, you know, not be so concerned or just minimize the feeling like, these are the only options. I have to have meat. No, some days you don't need meat. Some days you can go without meat. Some days, you know, you just want to flush your system and allow your system to not have to break down meat, because meat is very difficult to break down.
Yeah.
And the average American has over 20 pounds of undigested meat sitting in their digestive system. You know what I mean? Just imagine that in your intestines, just still waiting to be digested. Like, that's crazy. When every time you eat, you should have a movement to match, to go with every time you eat.
Right.
So we can't. That's the message behind it. If you want to stay preventative, you want to stay balanced, you don't want to, you know, have these blackouts and have these strokes that so many people are having, man, then that's what you have to do to maintain your body, especially as you're approaching your 40s and your 50s. This is what we must do. And we've never been taught that.
Where did you start testing out these recipes, and who were some of the people that helped you with it?
Okay, so I would test them at the house. You know,
Okay.
Me, my wife, my friends would come over. You know, whenever my friends come over, whoever came over, I'd be like, "Hey man, try this." So I just buy more so that I can keep experimenting, and I just kept going. Like, okay, this is good. I make it at home, but I ain't gonna buy this. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna go to a restaurant and buy this, because I was really thinking about it. Like, and then when my friend mom died, you know, rest in peace, Miss Carter. When she passed, I knew it was real. I was like, you know what? This is what I'm about to do. You know what I mean? And I don't care if it's something that it take me 5 years to do, you know, but I know that I got the opportunity right now with the way the landscape looks. I got the opportunity right now to create something that nobody's really doing and have it translatable. And so I started coming up with these different little names for the food, you know, stuff I started wanting every morning. If I want it every morning, at that point, it become a drug to me, you know. So the egg white avocado sandwich, mushroom grill on the grilled toast, on the 21 grain toast, that was my Slim Shady. You know, I was like, dang, it's got the egg whites, you know. Just doing it. You know, so I started throwing the hip hop names, the legendary names with the product, you know, and it just started connecting. Then next thing you know, I started doing smoothies, and I was doing juicing. I had the Tina Turner, you know, the pineapple ginger juice, and then I started having the Erykah Badu juice. Then I did the cell therapy, because, you know, think about cell therapy. It's a homage to Goody Mob, but it's also, you think about, it's a double entendre, because we actually provide therapy to your cells. Your body comprised of millions and millions of cells. So, you know, just getting the kind of subliminally throwing it out there and make people to start thinking inside out. You know what I mean? So that was my breeding ground. And this was my test market, you know, me, myself, my family, things like that. And then once I got the business going, I kept adding to it. You know, now that I'm in that space, when I see a Maurice and I got fish tacos, Maurice gonna tell me, hey man, I was at this restaurant, man, and they had these cauliflower tacos, boy. Why don't you try to come up with some cauliflower taco, boy? You know that'd be good. Everybody telling you what you need to do.
Yeah.
So you getting all this advice, and then once again, you pick what sounds like a hit record.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so that's how, you know, that's how I applied the talents to this.
So, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people that have been following you from jump, a lot of people saw you at first at, you know, Monday Night Brewery, you know what I'm saying? Then you remind me of the test kitchen spot that you was at?
It was the Good Samaritan Health Center.
Right, you was over there, you know what I'm saying? People just saw you pulling up in different places. Now you actually have a brick and mortar in Vine City, like right next to the Bronner Brothers building, you know what I'm saying? Down the street from Washington High School.
Historic,
you know what I'm saying? Right next to Vine City Martyr Station, like you there, you know what I'm saying? So talk to us about the decision to open up there of all places, you know what I'm saying? Because you could have easily tried to get somewhere close to Whole Foods or Ponce City Market or whatever market, Cool People Market or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But you with the folks, you in the community, you with the people. Like, tell us about the decision to, you know, land right there, man.
Well, if you're gonna be a part, if you're gonna be iconic or legendary, man, you gotta shoot your shot, man. You gotta be like, you can't be scared to, you know, to do something different, man. I wanted to be like a pioneer with this thing. I really wanted to bring it to the people that needed it the most. You know what I mean? And that was the underserved communities, you know, of Atlanta. You know what I mean? So I started thinking about the value of our people, the value of our historically rich area, and I'm like, you know, we see what's going on. You know, if you follow developers in any city, gentrification going on everywhere. So now our battle is, how do we keep the quality of life in underserved communities? And I wanted to be a part of that. And so that was the part of me that I said has to happen. I got to bring this to my people. And, you know, this lady told me, I was at Kill Me Crazy, and I was talking to this lady because I used to go there for the Zach Bowl. It was a Siberia Bowl, but I call it the Zach Bowl now at my place. But so I used to go there and get this acai berry bowl, right? And I asked the lady, I was like, you ever think about franchising? And she said, I said, over in the West Side. And she told me, she said, no, sweetie, they don't like this type of food over there, right? And I was like, wow, you know, this how people really think. Just because it's wings and barbecue spots and fast food spots, y'all think that's all we want to eat, y'all just gonna generalize a whole culture, a whole race of people just like that, and just that quick, you know. So my thing was, you know, it's not for them to do, it's for the people that care to do. When the community start looking for the government and outside corporations to provide for you what you need, then you're looking for them to basically own you forever. If we're gonna tackle economic empowerment and, you know, quality of life and revitalization and, you know, and healthier eating and all these things, then this is what we got to do. We got to take things into matters into our own hand and just, you know, really reach out to the people around you and build your own infrastructure. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm hoping to be a part of with brothers in real estate, developers. You know, We Buy Black got this thing right now where they trying to do their own community grocery store. You know, that's featuring all black farmers. You know, why not? Why not support? Let our dollars turn. Every other community flip their dollars for days and days and days. A dollar in the black community stay in the black community for 6 hours. You know what I mean? And I was just telling my partner, you know, it was like we were just talking about black power or black support versus white support, and why we keep having to say that all the time. We got to say it because we never had that. You know, or segregation brought us out of that, right? When Martin Luther King fought for us to be desegregated, he basically opened the doors for us to take our dollars and spend with these people. You know what I mean? So we got to get back to that mentality of, we got freedom to go wherever we want to go, but we choose to spend these dollars in our communities, right? You know, so we can flip our dollars and send our kids to better colleges and provide better quality of life for our kids. So that's my thing, man. It had to be in the hood. It had to be somewhere that was historically rich with black people. You know what I mean? That people want a better quality of life, but still want to be a part of the revitalization.
And one of the reasons I'm glad that you're saying that and that I'm seeing it's because, you know, like when I was staying down there by like Lakewood Amphitheater, I was living down there off of Pryor Street for a while. And it's like, you know, me and my wife couldn't find a lot of the things that, you know, we got accustomed to eating. It's like, damn, they ain't got no artist garden at the Kroger on Metropolitan. Damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, the only food spots around here only sell fried stuff after 10 o'clock. Damn, we can't find a grill, nothing around here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad, you know, to see, you know what I'm saying, you doing it and what your intentions are behind it. I'm curious to know, like, what is some of the feedback that you've got? I mean, outside of, you know, like the obvious, like, long ass lines, like, what is some of the verbal feedback that you've got? Cause like from the times that I've sat in the restaurant waiting on my food, like I've seen a lot of foot traffic. Like, that's a very good location that you're at. You're getting a lot of foot traffic, whether it be kids from, you know, the AUC or somebody that's like, you know what, man, I'm gonna pass up on that McDonald's today, man. I'm gonna see what they talking about over here, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So, like, what's some of the feedback that you've been getting since you arrived over there, man?
Man, it's been nothing but love, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know, you got your brothers that walk by and be like, nah, I passed, but you know, but then 90% of them, they coming in like, oh man, praising us, like, man, thank God, may blessings be on your vision, man. I'm gonna do everything I can. I'm gonna tell everybody I know. I'm putting it on my Facebook. I'm putting it on my Instagram, and that's why you see the Insta wall that we have.
Yeah.
There's so much love, you know what I mean? Because people are like really getting behind it. You know, we really touching into the people. You come in, you hearing some music that you ain't heard in a while, that's taking you back to a place, and it's just good, healthy. Our motto is healthy food, good vibes, our culture. You know, for Atlanta, by Atlanta. So, you know, I really put a lot of energy into getting that fabric right. You know what I mean? Things like that. So I'm getting a lot of love, man. I had a manager from McDonald's on his way home. He stopped in there to look at the menu. Now, mind you, we right next door to Ashby train station.
Yeah.
He's leaving McDonald's. He's walking by on his way. He stopped, look at the menu. I had the menu in the window. He stopped, looked. I just so happened to be at the door. I opened the door. Man, come on in, man. You got to stand out and, you know, come check it out. So he walk in. He like, oh, word? Oh, y'all just got all healthy food? I'm like, he said, y'all a vegan spot. And I said, we got vegan food, but we also, you eat fish, don't you?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I eat fish. I said, you eat salmon? He's like, yeah, I eat salmon. Will you eat shrimp? Yeah. I said, look, we got shrimp burgers, we got fries, we got stuff too. But here's the deal. We have grilled shrimp. We have air fried French fries. You see what I'm saying? So the brother came in. I say, man, look, it's all about flavor, man. I said, don't think because if you don't fry something, it can't taste good. I said, man, try it out. If you don't like it, I'll pay for it. So he went for it. Man got the shrimp burger, he got the fries, and he got the Dumbo corn, right? We got Mexican street corn. Yeah. You know what I mean? Man, that man been in there 3 days a week ever since.
Working at McDonald's.
He's the manager at McDonald's, man. You know what I mean? He the cat at McDonald's with the jury on, man. He getting paid at McDonald's, man. You know, and his brother is in there, man. So you know to know that you converting people and you giving people you becoming the face of what the other side or what the other people are doing, and just people feel like dang, you know what I mean, like the first time they're seeing it, they seeing it being presented by us. Yeah. It's for us, by us. They seeing that, man. That's the most rewarding.
And another thing that counts, to be real with you, bro, like y'all ain't busting folks in the head on the prices. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like it's like know, like if you see something on the menu, like, oh damn, $15, but like, oh shit, that's a whole lot of food I'm getting though. Like you ain't bringing out like hors d'oeuvres. Like, hey man, let me get that salmon Philly. You bringing out something just like this small. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I mean, that's another thing that chases a lot of people from eating healthy too. Like, man, it juice $5, bro. I could get some Tropicana, a whole gallon for $2 at Kroger. You know what I'm saying? So I know that pricing a lot of times chases a lot of people away from eating healthy too, man. So like kudos on that too. You know what I'm saying? So like when you was getting into this, I want to know, man. Like you said earlier, you obviously got a lot of respect. A lot of people know your name, but was it ever a hard sell when you first got out there? You know what I'm saying? Because I know when I was telling folks, hey man, yo, you need to check out my homeboy, bro. Like he got these fire tacos at the brewery, and they were like, what's it called? It's local green Atlanta. Homeboy Zach, like Big Zach,
yeah,
the rapper Big Zach. He sell taco now? Hell no, shawty. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I'm like, no, bro, like. No bullshit, the food is good. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, was it ever a hard sell when you was approaching folks with your ideas and your visions? Like, bruh, look, I know you want me to drop another single, but bruh, let me tell you about this goddamn wheat tortilla with the avocado and the eggs in it.
Yeah, man, this my new this my new demo.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. This is my new demo. It was difficult, but here's the deal, man. When you believe in something,
yeah,
that's what I always tell people. You can get if you really believe, if you really stand on something, you can get people one time to try something, right? If I respect you, you can sell me anything one time, right? If you really behind it. You know, Maurice like, boy, I got the best dark chocolate bars in the city, bro.
Yeah.
Like, why would I want dark chocolate if I don't like it already? Why would I want dark chocolate, Maurice? Man, the antioxidants, man, help you live long, help your cells, woo. And you sell me on it. All right, let me try it. Now, once I try it, because of you, the respect I have for you and your reputation as a quality individual, once I try it, if it doesn't connect with me and register with me, then that would be the first and the last time I eat dark chocolate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, but if I try it and I like it, now you got a customer. So that was my thing. I'm like, yo, you get a shot. Eminem say, you only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow.
Yeah.
So that's why discernment and good decisions are so good, because you can be running around here all over the place doing this today, doing that tomorrow, doing that, you know, Thursday, and then what? Now you out of jugs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was difficult, but one thing I do know, everybody got to eat.
Hell yeah.
Everybody got to eat. So everybody ends up becoming like your demographic. This becomes your customer, your target customer, and you know, hungry people, man. So me being at the brewery was me testing it to see if what the gentrified audience, to see if let me see if white people like this, because white people is they're the true stamp, really, because they started healthy food really in America. To me, you know, is people nutritionists and things like that. Then you get them to saying, oh, it's A1. And then you bring it to the community, and the community say, man, I love this. Now you really got something, because now you got profit and you got purpose. You know what I mean? And I wanted to make sure I was covering both. Yeah, I want to make a profit, but I also wanted to be a social entrepreneur.
And to that end too, man, it's like I said, I've been in there a dozen times since you've opened, and it's like each time I go in there, I do see some people that I do not ordinarily see walk around in Vine City, come up in the restaurant. And they're always like, oh, this is my first time here. I love this place.
Yeah.
Or I've heard about it. Or like, oh, this is my second time here. You know what I'm saying?
Now we got Yelp. Now we got Google. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm paying these folks to just put our stuff out there. You know what I mean? Just put it up there on your platform, show it to your people, and direct them over here if they're interested. You know what I mean? So that helps out a lot. You know, people. You know, they live by certain platforms. Everybody got their thing they go to.
Right.
So we big on Instagram, but you know, you can't just rely on one thing.
No, you can't.
You gotta hit all angles. But I will say this, man, because I'm sure everybody is some way related to music, or some way have a relative or a loved one that's in music. I will say this from somebody that really did it big in music, and someone who's now transition, like life after music. Just remember that game we used to play when we was in kids, when we was in school as kids, called musical chairs. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember musical chairs.
Everybody played that game, but I used to be so good at musical chairs that I used to always know how to get my seat, right? Mm-hmm. And then I used to look at the people who was just caught up in the music, and they would never pay attention to this music. This song about to stop any second. Do you know you're gonna sit down? And they didn't know, and then they would cry so hard, man.
Yeah.
When the game no longer served them, when they were kicked out the game, they would cry. And I always said to myself, I would never be that person that cries when music no longer serves me. You know what I mean? And that's always been my analogy with how I made my decisions with music, because I always want to keep my love pure for music, so that way if I ever came back, I always got a key to the door, key to the house where music live in my heart, and that's how I looked at it. So I was like, don't let the music stop on you, don't let it catch you slipping, so that's some real game right there. Real
game. Shit, interview over, bro. I mean, shit, like, ain't no follow up after that. You know what I'm saying? I'm dead ass serious. But hey, man, you know what I'm saying? For people that are not up on, local green Atlanta quite yet, give us some reminders of where you're at physically and where they can find you at online.
Local green Atlanta in the heart of Vine City, 19 Joseph E. Lowry, Northwest Boulevard. Right there in Vine City, at Local Green Atlanta for all social media platforms. And, come through. Our hours are 9 to 7. And shoot, we're trying to move it open an hour later because we do close early as heck. But we were in Vine City, so we need to make sure the community was rocking with us like that before we was open all late at night. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, fall through, bro. Come through after the club.
Yeah. So now this is what it is, man. I appreciate the love, my
For sure, man. Hell, I appreciate you, man.
A1 since
Hell
day
yeah,
one.
hell yeah, man.
My
You know what I'm
dog.
saying? But once again, man, we appreciate Zach coming through. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all keep tuning in to Day1Radio and also keep checking out Live Hip Hop Daily as well. We'll see y'all next week.
Yes, indeed. Peace.